So I found a tech company landing page with a lot of potential, but their website isn't doing its justice. The company seems pretty solid, but the landing page seems very uncleared, very crowded, and honestly, I just don't know what's going on. So in this video, I will be redesigning this landing page from auditing the current website all the way to finding inspiration, to wireframing, and to the ultimate redesign. So a lot of people think that good website starts off with Figma, but it actually doesn't. It starts off with understanding what's broken. So before touching anything, I am looking at the current landing page right now, and I'm just asking 3 simple questions. What does this company do? Who is this for? And why should I care? And if I can't answer those questions within the first few seconds, it's usually a sign that this page needs work. So for this website specifically, the biggest issue is clarity and hierarchy. The headline itself is way too wordy, don't know what's going on. Usually visitors would just skim through it, so reading it word by word isn't that efficient. Also, in terms of the layout, there is a lot of information competing for attention at the same time, so it makes the page feel very busy instead of guided. And finally, the CTA, which is the call to action, isn't strong enough. I don't really know what the next step is. I don't see a start a call or book today. This gives me 3 priorities that I want to work on. First, clarifying the messaging, improving the visual hierarchy, and also just creating a stronger conversion path. So now I know what to fix. Now let's go find some inspiration. So this is usually where I look at websites with very strong landing pages and study how they structure things like the hero section, the feature blocks, social proof, and also call to action. If you're curious as to what type of websites or resources I use, here's a link up here or somewhere here with everything that I use when it comes to inspiration. I'm gonna go on to my favorite website, which is Redesigned, just to look for any inspiration. So I'm just looking down, so there's different page types. We're looking for a product page and landing. So what I'm looking for is more on the tech, minimalistic, very modern design. So something like this looks pretty cool. So let's click into this. This one looks pretty good too. I think my vision, at least in terms of designing the hero section, is to have a object, I would say 3D printer in the big middle, and then some text on this side. So let's just see if there's anything that somewhat aligns with what I'm thinking of. Okay, so this is like flows, which we don't need yet. UX patterns, probably not. We could go to sites. So for sites, it would make sense to do electronics and devices, or AI tools makes sense too. Okay, let's do AI tool. Why? Wait, let's see. Does this? Okay, there we go. Okay, raycast looks like this. Okay, so this is one of the hero sections, and it looks pretty cool. They have a background of a whole ombre, and then the standard floating tech navigation bar, and then their big screen here. This is something that I would probably think of, or a design that I would use if it was a software company, but this is more of hardware, so we're not going to use that. I'll just delete it real quick. This is pretty interesting. So they have like one big object here, and then their typography on the left. I was thinking more of just centralizing everything, so having the object in the dead middle, and then typography on the left and right to balance it out. Okay, so this is my favorite part, which is wireframes. This is honestly one of the most important parts of this entire process, because wireframes force you to focus on the structure rather than the visuals. So at this stage, I'm not really thinking of, colors or fancy graphics or what type of pictures to use. I'm thinking more about the user flow. So I'm going to be mapping out the landing page like this.
I found a lot of inspiration from other websites, so now I have a better idea of where I want to place it, the structure, the typography, and also just the spacing in general for more tech-firm websites. So as you can see at the very top, the navigation bar, we're going to have something similar as well. We're going to have the logo, the services, home, about us, etc., and also the contact us. And I think it'll be pretty cool to display something like this. And maybe if I have time, we could have an animation with the scrolling effect using this to pop out. We have the name of the company and also, subtitles of explaining the services that they offer and also what the company actually do. And obviously the CTA, which is the pretty important part. Then we have services. So what do we actually do? What do we offer, etc. More services and why this company specifically. And then obviously from the success stories, just to add more credibility. And then, yeah, that's about it. I think it's like something very simple and straightforward like this. Look pretty good. And this is the original. As you can see, the side-by-side comparison, it's a lot less text, so it's a lot more succinct and more direct, straight to the point. And their second section here, I believe, are all services that they provide. I think for me, I'm just going to list out the 3 most popular services that they offer, and then if they are more interested in other services, then they could just click here for more.
So once the wireframe feels, solid, I start building the actual visual system. Since this is a tech company, I want the design to feel very clean, modern, sleek, and very, service driven. So this usually means having a very strong, simplistic typography, simple spacing, and also a limited color palette, and also having a clear contrast as well. So in terms of the color palette, I was thinking of just using their accent color, which I think is red, and everything else will be monochromatic using white, gray, and black. I also paid extra attention to the hero section because that's where first impressions happen. The headline needs to be a lot more sharper too, and the subheading needs to be explained in, normal human language, understanding what type of services that they provide, and also the CTA needs to stand out more clearly.
Mirror, so we got the navigation bar here, and then the title, subtitle, engineering ideas into real-world products, then our services. I was going to add like a line of our just more trust and credibility, such as the past companies that we've worked with, but I couldn't find any details on the original website, so I just placed our services as a placeholder. And then services, what do we do? So we have 3D printing services, 3D scanning, and CAD design, and we could just click for more services. Why choose Technast? And another CTA, and then our customer stories. This one I did change the layout a little bit compared to the wireframes because I realized it was a bit too similar to the services section and I want to change it up a little bit. So proven designs, real results. I didn't really have the numbers here, but I just put XX as placeholders. Full story, and also testimonials. These are all made up, but I think it'll be a pretty cool layout here. And I just screenshotted the last part. This is how it actually looks like on Figma. So this is the original website. This is the wireframe. As you can see, it's very similar to the final result. It's a bit different, I guess, later on in the structure, but overall I kept it the same. Okay, so that's about it in terms of the redesign, my entire process. But right now, I think the video is getting a bit too long, but I still would like to update you guys after I send out a pitch video / pitch deck to the founder, just proposing this new redesign of their website and seeing their responses. I also have a similar video regarding a consulting firm website that I have done, so link somewhere over there if you want to see what the results are, if they replied or if they were interested, whatever it may be. But yeah, stay tuned, follow, and see what happens.